In today's news, former Education Minister Myron Walwyn arrested and charged for a breach of trust by a public official in relation to the Elmore Stoutt High School wall. VI Public reacts to the arrest of former Education Minister Myron Walwyn in relation to the Elmore Stoutt High School wall. In addition to that, a first district highly unlikely to have a by-election after Fahi's departure from the House of Assembly, says Premier Wheatley. Boat fire in Sopher's Hole, and CCT's CEO receives Corporate Leadership Award. In addition to that, 42 students emerged successful from Secondary Summer School 2022. We have all the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Tuesday to one and all. Hello, November. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene here in the Virgin Islands, there has been mixed reactions from some residents within the mainland of Tortola after the news broke of the former Education Minister, Attorney at Law Myron V. Walwyn being arrested and charged for breach of trust by a public officer. While some residents expressed that they were shocked to hear the news, others said they expected a similar occurrence following the details that were revealed during the public hearings of the Commission of Inquiry. Our Kamal Haynes has the story.
Well, in light of the recent arrest of former Education Minister Mr. Myron Walwyn for his alleged breach of public trust, 284 News decided to take to the streets of Tortola to get a general consensus of how people have been reacted following the news. First up at the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park location, I spoke to McGarvey Thompson, who said he wasn't too surprised after hearing the news. He said Walwyn will have his time in the court of law, where he'll either be proven innocent or guilty of the accusations brought before him.
I wasn't too surprised because from the investigation that been going on, it has been look kind of cloudy on his side, and I know sooner or later, things like that was gonna go down. So, I mean, if he's innocent, then so be it. If he's guilty, then if you do the crime, you gotta do the time. You know what I'm saying? So, all I'm saying, like I told you before, the Bible says what done in darkness will come to light, and no matter how long it takes, it's gonna come out. A lot of times, we as human beings tend to do things, and because we're getting away with it, we think it comes to the point like it's okay, and it's not okay, So, I mean, it's sad to see what our island come to, but what you gonna do?
And in terms of obviously the impact that this would ultimately have on the wider public service, do you think it would be a positive impact or a negative impact?
Of course it will be a positive impact. Those who may have intention and do any kind of crap will check themselves. You know what I'm saying? They will retract themselves. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a positive. It is a positive action.
I also spoke to senior resident Daniel Blyden, who said he has been following the developments. He labeled Walwyn as a good man who did all he could to assist others, adding that he felt as though it was some sort of setup.
Watching it from time it happened. Myron is a good man. And I don't think that he was a bright, educated man, and I don't think he would involve himself in this thing that they blame him for. But it is what it is until he proven innocent. When the case guy is proven innocent. But I wish him the best, and I'm praying for him that he will come through this thing. He will come through this with flying colors. To be proven innocent.
And initially, you would have mentioned in our previous interview just now, where you would have said, according to the information you would have had, that you felt somewhat as though he was being set up of that nature.
Well, based on his comment and based when the thing I broke early up the year or last year or sometime when the thing I broke, it seemed like somebody been playing him around. I mean, he was trying his best to help people with a little work here and there and things like that. Was nothing wrong with that, but somebody take it to a different level, right?
Next up was the taxi stand, where I ran into Mr. Carol Scatliff, who expressed that he was surprised to hear about the outcome. He said he believes that there should have been other options made available to deal with Walwyn if he was indeed involved in any wrongdoing, before criminally charging the former minister in his role as a public officer.
I was surprised to hear the outcome of what happened today. But I feel that, an investigation needs to be had, and the investigation be done, and the consequences, whatever they are, whatever they fall, however they fall, we're hoping for the best. That's how I look at it.
And obviously, with these latest developments, do you feel like it's a turn in the territory now, where you'll see more public officers being held accountable for breaches in their line of duty?
Well, I personally think that there's a chain of command. I don't think it should have gone to this far. If something of that nature had happened, I think there's channels within the government that needs to be had before it reached to that stage. So I'm hoping that a line of communication now, seeing that things like these are happening, will be opened up and we could see a difference before it has to reach to this stage.
Scatliff also said he hopes that the recent developments of public officers being arrested and charged for breach of their duties impacts the public service positively, adding that it would keep public officers grounded in their duties as they would see it fit to follow the correct protocols and rules associated with conducting their jobs.
Well, I'm hoping for the positive because, again, you're holding a responsibility, and responsibility comes with position, comes with responsibilities. And I think that you have to know what your job description is before you take up these responsibilities, because to be held accountable for something that, you don't have, all you're doing is following channels. It's to me, it's unfair. And you need to know what your responsibilities are before you start to take up these kind of challenges. But in all, I think it's a wake-up call for us, the people, for the government, going forward, based on what you see happening today. I know accountability and transparency are one of the things that every government preaches. I'm hoping that this is just a light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, last but not least was Bob Henry, who said he believes that at least 2 of the recent public officers who was arrested have good cases. He said the news of the arrest of Walwyn wasn't really a shocker for him, considering the details of the case would have been revealed during the recent Commission of Inquiry hearings.
When I heard the news, I know it wasn't directly a shocker because I know the CIA report bring out a lot of these things, and they had an investigation going on. So, being around a little bit. But when I look at the whole scenario, I think Myron got a good case. Myron was in a position as a minister trying to do something where he's trying to help so many different contractors into a part of even improving their skills and many other things. So I think Myron got a good case. With Miss Christopher, I think she also have a good case because she was the person who was responsible for foreign affairs. She was the person that related to the premier. So sometimes you have to wait to see how these things iron out, and you hope the best for your people, because I'm not saying that's right and wrong out there, but I think based on what you're hearing, I think they have good cases. So they just have to have the good representation to represent them.
Thank you, Kamal. It is highly unlikely that there will be a by-election in the 1st electoral district for the seat of the former Premier and representative for the 1st Electoral District, Andrew Fahie, who will be made to vacate his seat at the end of the next sitting of the House of Assembly. This is according to Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, who made the disclosure at a recent press conference in response to a question posed on the subject by the media. Premier Wheatley first sought to correct his previous statement where he said that a member would have to vacate their elected seat in the House of Assembly if they miss 3 consecutive sittings without the excuse of the Speaker of the House. He said following discussions with his team, it was clarified that a member of the House would have to miss more than 3 consecutive sittings before being made to vacate his or her seat.
As I was saying first, that if you miss 3 consecutive sit-ins, the seat would be vacated, but that was not completely accurate. It's more than 3 consecutive sit-ins, which would be 4, at minimum 4. So we'll be starting the 4th sit-in on Tuesday, and at the conclusion of that sit-in, the seat would be vacated, of course, unless the member shows up, which is unlikely.
Or the Speaker.
Or whether the Speaker excuses, but we already know what the Speaker's position is on that.
In mid-July, Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Honorable Corinne George Mascott, rejected Fahie's notice of absence for the then sitting and all future sittings of the House of Assembly. At the time, she said that the former Premier cited his bail conditions as the reason why he was not able to attend the previous and future House of Assembly sittings, but said the delaying of his trial from July 18, 2022 to January 2023 weighed heavily in her decision to deny the former Premier's request. Speaking during the recent press conference, Premier Wheatley explained that the next sitting of the House of Assembly will have to conclude by November 12, 2022 to trigger a by-election in the 1st District. This, he said, was highly unlikely due to the vast schedule of items to be brought before the House during the next sitting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, today, November 1st, 2022. However, that has been postponed due to the Honorable Premier having not being well.
To have a by-election, that sit-in has to finish before November 12th. And I think it's unlikely. It's unlikely the sit-in starts on the 1st, and it's unlikely that the sit-in will finish before the 12th. Under the amended Elections Act, if the House dissolves within 4 months of when the seat becomes vacant, then you don't have to go to a by-election. And we'll just have a general election in May. But it's unlikely that we'll finish before November 12th because we have some very heavy bills on the order paper and a lot that we want to get accomplished before we have Budget Day. Budget Day is, of course, when we give the budget speech, and then we have to do stand-in finance, and we have to come back and have the budget debate all before the close of the year so that we can have a budget ready for January 1st. So we have to have Budget Day, and we'll have to close off the sit-ins so that we can do the budget. So and with some of the heavy things on the order paper, I don't think it's likely that we'll finish those before November 12th.
Some 42 students were able to obtain their high school diploma during the Ministry of Education's secondary summer school program this year after initially failing to meet the necessary secondary level graduation requirements. Education Minister, the Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, made the reveal while presenting a statement on the program to the House of Assembly.
Madam Speaker, as I mentioned earlier, there were 56 grade 12 students at the end of last school year who were unsuccessful in completing their secondary level graduation requirements. I am so pleased to share that because of the summer school program, 42 of those students were able to successfully complete their graduation requirements. I am so pleased to share that because of the summer school program, 42 students, Madam Speaker, were able to successfully complete their graduation requirements, and were able to receive their high school diploma by the end of the summer. This included 35 students from the Elmore Stoutt High School, 3 students from the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies, and 4 students from the Brigado Flax Educational Center Secondary Division. Madam Speaker, I commend these amazing young people for their diligence and perseverance, and I wish them well in their continued educational pursuits and out in the world of work.
While providing some background on the circumstances which guided the formation of this year's program, De Castro explained that the ministry sprung into action on the heels of a 25% failure rate at the exit proficiency examination. She said that a major consideration was offering students an alternative to doing an additional year of secondary education.
There was a total of 222 students enrolled in grade 12 at public secondary schools. Of the total, 168 students, or 75%, were successful, and 56, or 25%, were unsuccessful in completing their secondary level graduation requirements, with about 25% of the graduating class not meeting graduation requirements. This was cause for concern. On close examination of the students' results, it was noted that the majority of these grade 12 students were missing 1 or 2 components of the graduation requirements, either credits in a subject or subjects, failing 1 subject for the exit proficiency examination, or a combination of both.
This year, for the very first time, the ministry allowed Year 11 students to also participate in the summer school program. This, De Castro explained, was an effort to allow students to get ahead of the upcoming school year.
Madam Speaker, what was a new initiative this year with the summer school program was to engage students from grade 11 in summer classes. In the past, the summer session accommodated grade 12 students only. This year, grade 11 students were also able to utilize this concentrated period of time to focus on successfully completing a credit or EPE requirement. I see this as a step in the right direction. As we move forward with reform, the updated policy for credit recovery and summer programs will reflect this adjustment.
De Castro dubbed the successful summer program as one of the many ways in which the Ministry of Education is seeking, she said, to support the needs of students and assist them in achieving their God-given potential. Viewers, when 284 News returns, CCT's CEO, Mr. Avrai Penn, receives Corporate Leadership Award and HE Dr. June Sumer to participate in the UWI Open Campus BVI 2020 Local Graduate Recognition Ceremony. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anigada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up. Start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one. for you.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. On Saturday evening, among the territory's leading business executives, members of government, and visiting regional guests, CCT's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Avred Penn, was awarded the BVI Investment Club's Corporate Leadership Award. The award was given during the BVI Investment Club's 30th anniversary Black Tie Dinner event. The award acknowledges and celebrates exemplary leadership that has a significant and positive impact on advancing the organization within the club's portfolio of interests. The recipient must demonstrate initiative, promotes a work environment that is respectful, of course, and supports, leads an effective team to achieve results, and is an excellent role model. In accepting the award, Penn acknowledged the hard work of his entire team at CCT. He said, and I quote, "I humbly accept, not as an individual, but on behalf of all the managers and staff of Caribbean Cellular Telephone who make me look good every day. Leaders are only as good as their people, and I am very fortunate to have excellent people." Penn also thanked the club for acting on its vision of economic empowerment for Virgin Islanders. Penn adds, and I quote, "The club's vital initial investment has provided the opportunity for our young people to find a remarkable opportunity at a dynamic, agile, and competitive telecommunications company. We have proven that we have what it takes to compete with the big multinational providers, and if given a chance, we are as good or better than anyone." Penn became the CEO of CCT in 2013 and swiftly began reorganizing the company. Under Penn's leadership, CCT was led from a deficit position to profitably while navigating regulatory and technology challenges and changes, and of course the historical impacts of Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017. Penn completed his undergraduate degree at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire before attaining an MBA and, of course, doctorates from Cornell University in New York. He held a Financial Industry Regulatory Authority General Securities license and was called to the New York State Bar. Before returning to the BVI in 2007, he worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers and managed the global strategic sourcing team of JP Morgan Chase. Other awards given out of the national celebration of the BVI Investment Club's 30th anniversary year were the Secretariat Award to Ermin Richardson, Community Awards given to Judith Charles and Nurse Burnett Scatliff, and Entrepreneurship Award to Kristen Fraser and Mr. St. Clair Fleming. The BVI Investment Club started 30 years ago on April 22, 1992 by a group of Virgin Islanders and belongers who had a vision of meaningful participation in the economic future of the Virgin Islands. The group strongly believed that through collective effort, they could achieve far greater things than anyone could achieve individually. Now, since then, the group has, of course, assets valued at approximately $100 million. CCT was the BVI Investment Club's very first investment in 1993 when it purchased a 50% share in the then CCT boat phone. 20 years later, in 2013, CCT became the very first telecommunications company in the region to be 100% locally owned. To learn more about CCT BVI, of course, we encourage you to visit cctbvi.com or CCT BVI on our Facebook page. A local boatsman has been left to pick up the pieces after the vessel he called home was gutted by fire on Monday evening. Captain Hugh told 284 News that his vessel Ocean Star 60 went up in a blaze, which he believes could have been caused by an electrical malfunction on board. The captain spoke on, of course, the docks of Sopher's Hole, West End, as emergency response personnel and Good Samaritans did what they could to tame the blaze. Now, he escaped with nothing but clothes on his back and had little optimism that anything would be salvaged from the vessel should it be saved before sinking. Now, the captain said it took emergency personnel 20 minutes to make it to the scene. However, this long wait was in vain when they arrived without the necessary equipment to assist and joined in with other onlookers watching the flames grow while they waited for the arrival of said equipment. Now, the vessel burned for a significant period of time before the blaze could be put out. Of course, we are thankful that at the end of this, no lives were lost. Viewers, that is it for today's News Roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284media BVI, on Instagram and Twitter. We are also on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for rocking with us. Of course, we encourage you to visit our website at 284media.com for the plethora of articles and, of course, feature interviews. This evening, we have been featuring the presenters series for the BVI Lit Fest 2022. We encourage you to, of course, look at those interviews and, of course, catch up if you have not on the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman Season 4. Of course, up next is Mr. Esteban Smith, who is a local professional leading in his fields. We are happy to be able to feature the young and brightest of our generation, really raising a generation of greatness. That is it for today's News Roundup. Thank you so much for joining us. A happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must stop cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power? Hello?
Wait, you had a long time. Yeah? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye!
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable containers